loves. This is Imran, your magical mystic, owner and founder of The Magical Mystic Divinity Academy. Um, Also, the TV personality behind Moments of Mindfulness and a perfumer now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the accolades just continue to grow. I'm really excited and everything. And in that vein, I want to share some information with you guys. First of all, thank you for subscribing and thank you for following and thank you for sticking around while my videos got kind of inconsistent. But I'm back and I'm better. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the things I want to talk about today is knowledge and application. Okay, let me be the first to say that there are so many people who know so much more than me, so much more. And if all that mattered was knowing, okay, that's half the battle, not the whole battle. Knowing is just half the battle. Application is the other part, okay? Um, but if all it came down to was knowing a lot of information, then we got probably the most educated generation in the world as far as being exposed to information. However, we struggle because people are not necessarily applying the information as much as they're accumulating it. So people are obese on knowledge, okay? And what I mean by obese, they're not making use of it, so it's setting on them like fat, okay? That's not burned off. This calories, they're getting more than they're actually burning or using. One of the things that I promised myself many years ago, in fact, I've just always loved knowledge. But I promised myself that I would not be a person who seek a lot of knowledge and not understand application, not apply it. Everything out don't matter for me to know. And there's some things people be trying to teach me, and I'll be like, how can I use that? You know? And they're like, well, it's just good to know. It's like, okay, I got it. And I may remember it and I may not, but I'm always looking for how to make that knowledge do something within myself or outside of myself in my life. And so a lot of people have questioned my right to be a metaphysical teacher and leader, my right to be a thought leader, my right to be a coach, and all of that. Question my right to start, say, Divinity Academy. And I get it because I ask questions too. Before I spend my money, before I do any kind of investing in listening to who gonna be teaching what, I want to know what qualifies you. And so for me, application is my jam, okay? And I'm all about applied knowledge. So with that being said, let me say this. If you think about everything that you know right now, whether that be esoteric and occult knowledge, whether that be financial information and knowledge, whether that be real estate, whatever it is, are you applying most of that stuff regularly? Meditation was something I didn't love, right? I didn't love it. I did not even want to love it. But when I learned why, I fell in love, okay? And then it became a lifestyle. Tree hugging. No, you're like, I don't want to lose them kind of cool points. I'm just not with looking weird in front of the world, okay? That was my first response. I'm like, mm-mm. But when I understood why and what could come of it, I fell in love with it. Now I'll be loving on trees. I'll be all on them like this. It's like, oh, I love you. I missed you. People walking by like, really? Is that what we doing? And I'm like, how you been doing it? People are treating you right, blah, 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 blah. You know, every time I connect with my trees. And so it's a lot of things I had to learn to love. And how did I learn to love them? I learned to love them based upon what they bring into your life. Have you really weighed all this information you've been gathering? Because I got to say this. I got to say it, okay? There are a whole sects of people who believe in all of these conspiracy theories, who put them out there in your face all day, every day. Somebody's drinking blood and somebody's eating your baby and somebody's doing this and somebody's doing that. And you got to ask yourself at some point, how does this benefit me? I don't have a baby. Ain't nobody drain my blood. And I don't want to walk around afraid and paranoid all the time. Are there opposition? Is there opposition in the world? Are there opposing forces? Yes. But If I sit up and learn everything that I can about these opposing forces that had never caused any problems for me before, and I ignore the thing that's causing the most problems for me, which is my own mindset, the paradigm that I operate in, then am I not being an opposing force to myself? Knowledge is power once applied, and that is the only time. Knowledge is power when it makes sense, when you can assimilate it into your system and it becomes a part of you and how you operate. Okay? And so for that reason, my suggestion today, for those of you who follow me here on YouTube, okay, is to take some time to look at what you're studying and how it can benefit your life. A lot of people want to be teachers and they want to teach a whole lot of things, but do these things actually matter in the grand scheme of things right now? There are some things you leave people to learn for themselves. And meanwhile, if you're really wanting to be effective, you got to equip people to be able to deal with the varying degrees of energetic exchanges going on within their lives. It's like this is going on, that's going on. This is, sickness is a real thing. Health and healing is a real thing. Financial concerns is a real thing. Spiritual ascension is a real thing. Let's deal with these real things and equip you so that you can go on and have a really great life. You know what I'm saying? You can go on and be victorious. You know what I mean? You can triumph. And then if you want to get into these little things and these little things, that's something you can do. First thing though is foundational. Grab that foundational knowledge. If you are new to your journey, the knowledge that I suggest you start with is ancestral veneration, not worship, veneration, meaning honor, respect, time spent. Learn where you come from. Deal with your energy. If you were adopted, doesn't matter. By blood, you have an ancestry, and your cells know it. So learn about that. Learn about the universal laws. Understand meditation and what it does. Learn about trance state. Learn about visualization. Then get into sacred geometry, and then alchemy, studying alchemy. And as you get into that, as you do those things, it's going to really start to make sense. Don't look for those big lightning bolts. Bow, this is the knowledge. This is the information that's going to change your life. It could happen. But rather than looking for that, commit yourself to slow, steady, continuous growth. A continuous, like day by day. If nothing does this for me, I'm okay because I'm already committed to this. And I'm okay with that. And if that happens, I know how to pick myself back up. I'm okay with that. It would be great. You know what I'm saying? But that might not be what it is, okay? And you have to be okay with that being a real reality. Slow, continuous, steady growth. Because you learn a thing, you apply a thing. I learn about my ancestors, I apply that knowledge to my life. I start to venerate them. I learn about sacred geometry, I apply it to my life. I start to work with it. I learn about rituals, I apply it to my life. I learn about meditation, I apply it to my life. I learn about alchemy, I apply it to my life. That's how you become successful. That's how I became successful. That's how every successful person you know who actually got it out the motherfucking mud, okay? I noticed you too, but it happens sometimes. That's how they did it. And that's how you shall do it. And you will be successful. I love you guys. Don't forget, visit us at divinityacademy.com. We have a host of classes. Or for all of your metaphysical, spiritual, energetically infused oils, butters, fragrances, salts, and all of that, go by magicalmystic.com, and that's MAGICKAL, mystic.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.